Welcome to Palm Harbor Local, where we bring you inspiring stories from the heart of our community. I'm your host, Donnie Hathaway, and today we are joined by Matt Menenga. He is a business owner and the current president and CEO of the Palm Harbor Chamber of Commerce. Now, our show is all about celebrating those who have put in the sweat, overcome the hurdles, and still find time to give back to the community. If you want to be inspired by how they got started, what keeps them going, and what they're doing to make Palm Harbor even better today, you're in the right place. In today's episode, you'll learn what your chamber should be doing for you, how Matt became the president of the current Palm Harbor Chamber, and what Matt loves about being in Palm Harbor. Now be sure to follow us on Instagram at Palm Harbor Local and join our weekly newsletter at palmharborlocal.com. Let's get started. Matt Menenga, welcome to Palm Harbor Local, man.
Thank you.
I'm excited to have this conversation. We were just chatting a little bit before, some good stuff, and we'll share some of that too. But you're the president and CEO of Palm Harbor Chamber, like we just discussed. What led you to becoming the chamber president here in Palm Harbor?
Great question. Maybe just enjoying being a part of a community, seeing the needs of a lot of the business economies in communities, in the local communities, and trying to just help educate on how to build those communities by sharing exposure for those businesses, because that's mainly what I concentrate on, is the business part or business economy of a community. How to teach people how to build relationships through networking, how to send referrals and contacts, how to make those connections, how to get exposure through marketing, how to educate. A lot of small businesses are the heart of a community.
Yeah.
Big businesses play a big role too. They kind of disregard the bigger businesses sometimes, or vice versa. They concentrate on the big businesses and disregard the small businesses. The small business makes that attractant for big businesses to come do big business in a community. So that's why I like to say that small businesses are the heart of a community. And the more that we concentrate on building that, the more that will attract bigger businesses and more businesses to boost the economy we want to have here. And so we try to offer a lot of education for things that small businesses don't have the opportunity or the means to have, like marketing. We do Marketing Mondays. It's a free educational class in a way to teach people how to do it if they can't afford to, pay somebody to do their marketing for them, their social media, which is so relevant these days.
Yeah.
We might not like it.
Right.
I don't typically like that I have to do social media, but it's so relevant and so much of it's free if you know how to utilize it as a tool. It can really benefit your business. So we teach a lot of that because especially small businesses at first, or when they're first starting in business, they don't have that knowledge, or they don't have the means to hire a marketing department or a marketing person. So that's crucial in the beginning.
Yeah, I like that. I like that you touched on like the concept of, both the small business community and some of these larger corporations. Like, we need both of them here, right? And I think we're fortunate in Palm Harbor and in a lot of our little cities around Palm Harbor too that have like this core downtown community of small businesses. Right, there's other parts of the state and in our immediate area and county that don't have that. Right, they just have like some of the bigger corporations and stuff in there. So I think it's important to, like you said, to educate the small business owners so that they can stay there long term, and we can keep this core structure of having like the downtown areas that we have.
And Palm Harbor is unique and special. We're more widespread. We're Ozona, Crystal Beach,
Right.
East Lake.
Right.
So we're more spread out, and we actually have like 2 or 3 times the businesses that a Dunedin or a Tarpon or Safety Harbor has. So we have a lot more potential. That's kind of what attracts me here too, is because the untapped potential and trying to figure out how everybody can utilize each other's contacts. A lot of people may not remember Rolodexes, but it's basically how it's teaching people how to use each other's Rolodexes by, you know, um, creating relationships.
Yeah.
Now I would guess you would consider it your contact list.
Yeah. Your CRM.
So
whatever.
yeah, it's important. And we just have so much potential that's not being, as far as how many businesses were spread out. We don't have a little concentration. We have a little concentration of downtown, but that's just not all of Palm Harbor.
Yeah.
There's way more to Palm Harbor, and I'm trying to include all of it and try to figure out how to focus on getting everybody involved to help attract more money to be spent in our businesses. So
yeah, I like that.
mm-hmm.
So your background, let's go there, and like, where did you what have you done before being involved in the chambers?
I was in the customer service business, hospitality business, for majority of my life. In high school, I was in the roofing and construction business because I like working with my hands. I'm a solutions person. I love figuring out solutions to problems. That's what I do. And in the restaurant business, that's every day.
Yeah.
You never know you walk in the door and what challenge is gonna need to be focused on to find a solution. And that's ultimately what I enjoy doing. But I come from the restaurant, bar, nightclub business for many years and enjoyed it. It wore me out.
How did you get involved in that? Like, what was your first? Did you start like bussing tables or?
Yeah, I was actually a busboy. Then I did dishwashing. Then I was a cook for a long time.
Okay.
Bartended. I like variety, so I wanted to learn everything. And one day I realized I've done everything in this building. And my manager at the time, when I was younger, saw that and he was like, I want to send you for management training. And I was like, never thought of being a manager, but then learned a lot about how to handle many different personalities and employees and staff and then strategies on how to keep your costs down and your profits up, and how to control labor costs and be efficient and all that. So that really intrigued me, and that's when I really kind of learned I really like figuring this stuff out and figuring out solutions for how to be more efficient, how to make people happy, how to make that customer that you go visit, or I used to call it touching tables, come back 2, 3, 4 times a month. I mean, that's the whole game in there, is how do you attract customers to come back more? Because building that core regular is how local restaurants, independent restaurants, even corporate restaurants, how they survive.
Yeah.
I mean, all the seasonal stuff is all, frosting on the cake is how it should be.
Right.
But building that repeat customer multiple times a month is where I always looked at concentrating on.
Yeah.
And how I trained my staff, how I trained my managers.
Did you ever want to, or have the idea of owning your own business? Because so you owned your own restaurant and stuff for a little while.
I've been partners and own my own.
Yeah.
And it's not easy. I mean, a lot of people think, they can just buy a restaurant, start a restaurant.
Yeah.
Piece of cake. It's just a piece
of
cake.
Food. Yeah.
It's very rewarding in many ways, especially if you have a creative side and a passion for people. You have to have a passion for people.
Yeah.
Or owning a customer service based business will not work for you.
And that's probably like one of the most cutthroat, like service based, right? Where it's like, if they
100%.
don't get what they want, they're going to go online, leave you a bad review.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, my goal was always, I wanted to do something that I enjoyed to go to work every day and do. And I did for many years. As I got older, it wore me out faster. And one day my daughter said to my mom, does daddy love this more than me? Because I was working 80, 100 hours a week. And that broke my heart and made me realize, yeah, I need to change. So that's kind of how I phased out of that hospitality world. And then someone believed in, I guess, my perspective of customer service to bring to the civic world or to a chamber of commerce, and really wanted me to bring that concept. And I never thought I would be working at a chamber before, but once I grasped it and understood the need, then it was my job to figure out a solution on how to make it better. So
yeah. Did you was being a business owner, was that something you've always wanted to do, or being involved in like the small business community at all? Or
yes, I always wanted to have a small business. I still have one today. And I enjoy that. It gives you a sense of worth. It gives you a sense of me, what I do. I have a handyman business, so I love helping people. I actually help a lot of real estate agents with their inspection lists, and I have a lot of property management clients, and any one of my regular clients can tell you that I love helping. I hate when I have to turn down a job and that's, what I really contemplated on when taking this job at the Palm Harbor Chamber of Commerce was, am I going to be able to focus on, my regular clients? And I did. I got to talk with a lot of my regular clients and tell them, and they were all very supportive of me taking this, because they knew my passion for the community and education, of what a chamber should be doing and what a chamber does for a community. So it's kind of what brought me to now.
Yeah. So let's go back to like when you owned your restaurant. Were you involved? Were you a part of the chamber then when you owned the restaurant? Okay,
correct. Yep.
And what was your experience like with those with that chamber at that time?
I had a good experience. They utilized us quite a bit for networking events and exposure events and golf tournaments and stuff like that. So they kept me, as a small business owner, they kept me involved, which I think really helped me learn and understand what really a chamber is about. Yeah. And what it should be doing for a community. So I think that exposure to me helped create my perspective in the chamber world. So
so let's talk about that. Like, in your mind, like, what is the benefit, or what should the benefit be of a chamber if someone were to join, or if someone is a part of a chamber?
It's really a two-way street as well. I could list all the benefits, which I'll tell some benefits, but it's also being involved in the chamber. And especially, to me, it's important when you're first in business as well, or when you just, making time's hard for a business owner, but and I understand that totally. But if you can, or send an employee or train an employee to come and be involved in our events, our educational classes, our networking. We do a lot of teaching of how to build relationships through networking, not just networking alone, because anybody can go into a room, a networking room, and pass out, shake hands and pass out business cards. But I believe if you don't build that relationship, that business card is just going to be thrown in the trash when they get home or get back to their office or even before they leave that room.
Yeah.
So building that relationship is key, but you can't build those relationships if you're not there.
Yeah.
And you're not involved. Getting involved in some of the, community event, getting exposure in some of the community events. I'm not saying you have to sponsor everything or anything like that, but just being involved and volunteering a little bit of your time at that event. Getting, sponsorship is just good because it gives you the bigger exposure experience.
Yeah.
But also volunteering is huge. That's what we don't get that much is people that step up and want to volunteer. But it gives you an opportunity to interact with the community, and that's what you want is the community visiting your business.
And then you're building rapport, relationships with the other volunteers that you're
100%.
there too. Yeah.
But we also, just the basic concept of I work on all day long finding ways how our locals here in our community can spend their money locally more than they were before, and how to attract, we're a tourist area and destination. We have great cities all around us, Dunedin, Tarpon, that are way more touristy than even Palm Harbor. We just have the space and the parks.
Yeah.
That's what we, for visitors, this isn't talking about visitors, even Safety Harbor. I mean, all three of those places are hugely in the attraction of tourists and our visitors. And so, trying to figure out ways to attract visitors to spend their money more, or when they're here in Palm Harbor at our businesses is something that I concentrate on all day. And every time I think about what we post on social media or the business spotlights that we do, the newsletters that we, communicate with all of our members in the community, and the events that we come up with, that's all about attracting our community to spend their money at our local businesses, and visitors to support local as well. So,
So let's dive into some of the events, right? Because like Palm Harbor, like being unincorporated, I feel like that's always been a struggle of like, where do I get information from? What's happening this weekend, or what events are going on? Right. Who puts on what events? Like, how can I be involved? Right? Because there's all these different organizations and groups that are involved in making Palm Harbor what it is. But specifically for the chamber, like what events are you in charge of? Like, I guess throughout the calendar year, like what events do you put on?
Well, great question, because, all the organizations that, come together to do events and do the community events or the downtown events as well, because they're not just downtown, they're throughout the community as well, are awesome. I mean, they really love pulling together to create more community. I think this last year we concentrated on more, and as the years come, we concentrate on more events that bring the community together, get the community in the habit and used to coming back together for events and or downtown. Our downtown needs, some help with that again as well. And I think that's important, is the more we bring the community or give an opportunity for the community to come together, the more habit they will come down and visit, our restaurants and bars and salons and barbershops and retail that we have down here. So, but the events, we all support each other on each other's events. So mainly, like, say we have the Christmas parade coming up next weekend, Saturday the 14th. So it is a chamber event that Parks and Recs helps supports us. Palm Harbor Parks and Recs help support us with the logistics and the organization of it. We couldn't do it without them. It is kind of on the shoulders of the chamber, but And ultimately, the chamber in Palm Harbor Parks and Rec, we do this solely for the community, for the fun of the kids and little leagues and the Panthers, the football leagues, and the Girl Scouts and the Boy Scouts, and for the dance communities and schools, and for our high schools and middle schools and elementary schools. It is a fun event. It is fun to see the community come together and celebrate the holidays. So we look forward to that every year. The other big event that the chamber does in the community, which is always majorly in April, is Palm Harbor Fest. Used to be called Citrus Festival.
Yeah.
Before my time, they changed it to Palm Harbor Fest. That's huge. I mean, it was a very big success this last April. It's coming up again the second weekend of April in 2025. And we get support from downtown Palm Harbor merchants. Ben from Devine, that is the president of merchants. He helps so much in this community and helps us with stuff, and all of our barricades set up. And I mean, there's a long list of stuff that he helps and the merchants help with. The Palm Harbor, the Palm Harbor Parks and Rec help us with all of that. And now we have a new organization that is rising called Palm Harbor Main Street. And they will be based out of Harbor Hall. And their really focus is going to be on this downtown community and the beautification, the helping, hopefully one day having a waypoint project to go so people know where things are and
know where downtown is.
Even though we're right off alternate 19, because we got a lot of traffic off alternate 19 in the trail, Nellis Trail. So helping, find our businesses and other needed, organizations, buildings, but they're really going to be focusing on the future, the development, the vitality of downtown Palm Harbor and Palm Harbor as a whole community as well. So I'm excited for that to come about. That's brand new. Hopefully I'm okay with spilling the beans on that. But yes, the chamber, and then when the merchants have like their Veterans Day events and their other events, and when the Palm Harbor Main Street's going to have their events, our job is to help support those as well. We want to not only bring our business members to help get involved, it helps them get exposure for the business, and then they're creating a community reputation as well, which is important. For attracting the community to use or utilize your business. So
for sure. I think it's I like what you said, right? Like it's, maybe like, Palm Harbor Chamber is putting on this event, right? But everybody's involved. And I think that's key for the growth in the future of what downtown, can be, right? If we continue that, and that's important to have.
It shows the
all
unity.
That support.
Yeah,
right?
and showing that unity in a community, I think it just keeps the strength moving forward. So.
And if everyone's working together, everyone's collaborating, sharing ideas, bringing new ideas, and then just helping each other with all these events. Like we have a lot of great spaces and events already, right? But just to build on top of that, I think will be huge. And the consistency, you mentioned that before, right? Just having those events, I think that's been some of the problems the last 5-10 years or whatever. Just the consistency of those events is and people are like, wait, is this happening this weekend?
But then they get out of the habit of coming together as a community and or coming downtown or wherever Pop Stands or wherever the event is. They get out of the habit of doing that when you aren't consistent. So consistency is huge. I mean, I come from the restaurant business. If you don't, I mean, there's a reason why Outback, Carrabba's, Longhorn, a lot of those companies that have been around a long time, and why they've been around a long time, it's all about consistency.
Yeah. You
It
know what you're
is.
getting.
I mean, most business is based on consistency.
True.
So
True.
if you're not consistent or don't concentrate on consistent, you know, you might as well hang it up.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
So
gonna
yes,
get.
consistency with events in a community, huge.
Yeah. Massive. Massive.
Hmm.
So how long have you been with the Palm Harbor Chamber now? A little over a year.
Yes, October 9th was a year, so just a little bit over a year, and I'm looking forward and excited to this next year. So
What are you? What's your goals for this upcoming year for the chamber?
great question. A lot, and I'm still working on
Yeah.
that list. But yes, I main thing that I want to concentrate on this year is members, new members, and in education of what a chamber does to a community, and then community involvement type. I can say events, but not just events.
Yeah.
Community happenings and and just trying to refocus people's minds on Palm Harbor again. Really,
Yeah.
we need, we're not in bad shape or anything like that. We just need the, people to focus on Palm Harbor again and just trying to attract that.
Yeah, I think you're and the community wants that too. Like
Hmm.
the people in Palm Harbor, like they want a reason to come downtown and hang out with their friends or whatever in downtown in Pop Stancil, wherever
Yeah.
it is. So it's on, the different organizations like with the chamber, the Main Street,
Hmm.
um, Parks and Rec, and the downtown merchants to just continue this momentum that we
Yeah.
do have. So.
Hmm.
Yeah, I love that. What is, I'm going to wrap up with this. How long have you been in this area now?
I moved in this area in 2000.
Okay. What is it? What is one thing you love about Palm Harbor? Like if you had to pick one thing.
The biggest thing I like about Palm Harbor is, and especially it showed me in the recent two hurricanes, is how the community it comes together for the community and other communities surrounding us. But man, I mean, I'm getting goosebumps right now because it was a huge, just an example to me
Mm-hmm.
on why I know I'm in the right place and for my heart, because people just came together, whether it be donations for all the families and people, kids, that lost everything in the hurricanes or lost a lot, or whether it was just cleaning up your neighbor's yard or helping them
Mm-hmm.
remove some of the debris, or even we had a really special thing that happened at the chamber, and I was honored that they chose to use the chamber. We had some moms and some faculty of a couple different schools locally that knew that a lot of kids either lost a lot of their clothing or stuff
Mm.
in the hurricanes, or because of the stuff that they lost, couldn't afford to get homecoming dresses or homecoming outfits, male and female. And so they came together, they utilized the chamber. They had, I think, well over 200 dresses and outfits
Wow.
donated. They brought high school kids in there to fit them with and let them choose a dress that they probably wouldn't have been able to afford or have, to keep them able to go to homecoming and have that experience, because I think that was a huge aspect and support of our kids' mental health in that time period. Because when disasters come around, adults maybe have gone through it several times in their life. Kids, some of them, it's the first time they've dealt with
Mm-hmm.
that kind of stuff. So I was so honored that they even asked to utilize the chamber building. To me, those ladies are angels for this community, and they would probably be shy if I said who they were, so I won't. But they know who they are, and they're just amazing that they even came up with that concept. To me, that was special to be involved in. So
Yeah, that's pretty cool, and I'm glad you mentioned that too, because I think that's one thing that's unique about Palm Harbor.
shows
Right?
the heart.
Yeah, we just have a really great community of people who truly care about each other in the community, and so yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Matt, thanks for being here, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Donnie, thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity and what you do for our community.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, all right.